Hi everyone, it's me, Beatty Kelly Sunflower. So I thought I'd hop on and unbox this oracle deck which I received a few days ago. It's called a Kitchen Witch Culinary Oracle Deck and it's by Dawn or Aurora Hunt. Gain daily insights and bring magic to your meals and everyday ingredients. And it's published by a company called Culinary Universe, which I've never heard of before. A Kitchen Witch Culinary Oracle Deck bridges the gap between insight and action, offering practical next steps to revision your life with clear, suggested steps to take. It's easy to incorporate the spiritual nutrition on the cards into daily life after musing over a question such as, how can I become more confident? One might choose to do 1, 3 or 5 card readings to provide enlightenment. If the avocado card is received, for example, it serves as a reminder that inner beauty will always shine through. Making a dish described on the card is a further way to connect to the message. This unique oracle deck includes inspirational guidance about the inherent magical properties of food and kitchen tools. Inside a Kitchen Witch's Culinary Oracle deck, you will find 50 cards featuring whimsical, vibrant illustrations of food, such as mushrooms and rice, as well as kitchen tools such as pots, pans and spoons. Card descriptions with the spiritual symbolism and energetic qualities of the food or tools and ways to engage with the information provided. Practical applications of each card with easy ways to integrate the ingredient or tool into meals or daily routines. Instructions for completing reading using 1, 3 or 5 cards, as well as a QR code to access recipes and further interpretations of the cards. Okay, so let's open this deck. I'm just going to break the seal. So it opens like a cigarette box, which is interesting. Got the Kitchen Witch Culinary Oracle Deck, gain insight and bridge magic to your meals and everyday ingredients. And it's just when it was published in there. Oh, this is interesting. So you have a title card for the author. Dawn Aurora Hunt, owner and CEO of Aurora Kitchen Witchery, has been teaching kitchen witchery and spiritual nutrition since 2010. Starting her own company allowed her to make gourmet food with dishes of magic and heaping helpings of positive vibes as the main ingredients. With simple ingredients and power of intention, Hunt demonstrates to people how to cook simple magical meals in a mindful way to help achieve spiritual goals. The author of A Kitchen Witch Guide to Love and Romance and Kitchen Witchcraft for Beginners, Hunt speaks at events all along the East Coast, appearing regularly on local TV, and is the host of the popular podcast Conversational Witchcraft. When she is not cooking up magic, she can be found drinking coffee and snuggling her cats with her husband in their home in New Hampshire. For more information, inspiration and recipes, follow her on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and visit katrinaAurora.com. Oh, and then at the back it says about the artist. Alicia Petilia is a Boston-based artist and illustration, holding degrees in studio art and art history. She uses traditional, digital and mixed media techniques to create artwork that is often defined by intricate line work, creative uses of colour and whimsy. Alicia is most inspired by nature representations of the human form and motifs found in fairy tales, folklore and mythology. An artist from an early age, Alicia has maintained a long life passion and interest in illustration. She strives to tell stories, convey meanings, and spark imagination through her work. Her art can be found in private collections throughout the United States and Europe. When she isn't creating, she spends her free time traveling to new countries, hiking, and visiting museums. You can see more of her artwork at aliciapiliaart.com or at aliciapart on Instagram. So it's got an introduction here. Welcome to the Witch's Kitchen. Here, food is magic and medicine for the spirit along with the body. This culinary oracle deck is here to guide and inspire you in a practical way in your everyday meals. But what exactly is an oracle deck? A tool used for inside entertainment, guidance, and inspiration. Unlike a tarot deck, which has a fixed number of cards with fixed symbols, an oracle deck can be beginner friendly and more open to a fluid interpretation. Each card has a meaning, a message, and a suggestion on how to enjoy the ingredients on the card. The meanings may feel different for you. There are no real rules about how you can work with this deck, only suggestions and what has worked for me. You may find that using this deck feels right as a daily or weekly tool to help you connect with food, cooking, or your own inner thoughts. It can also be used for more in-depth readings with larger card spreads. It's my greatest hope that this deck creates more mindfulness around food, as well as a deeper understanding of the magical properties that ingredients hold, and how to work with these energies to lighten and enrich your life, as well as personal spiritual practices. And then this is a QR code for a more in-depth experience, including reverse meanings and recipe suggestions. Please scan this code. I will scan that code actually and keep it on my Kindle. Important notes. Don't skip this. As someone who struggles with food allergies and health issues, food can be hard to work with, even for a kitchen witch like me. While working with these cards, please do not eat or try things that might hurt your physical body. If you are allergic to a food, don't eat it for the sake of a reading. It's always acceptable to find alternative ways to work with the energies of these foods. For example, let's say that you have pulled the strawberry card from the deck, but you are allergic to them. You can still encourage the romantic energy of strawberries by using a picture of strawberries or a strawberry scented candle in your kitchen. Never eat something you think might make you sick or could harm you due to medical conditions like diabetes or celiac disease. And then it's got here, vegans and vegetarians. You can still work with the energies of things like pork or beef or cheese. Simply substitute one of these for the vegan version and use your visualization. Those with gluten-free intolerance. You can still work with the energies of these like wheat and bread. Simply use ingredients that are safe for you like rice flour, buckwheat or any other gluten-free grains. Well, that's interesting. And then it's got here how to use this deck. Often we move through the days without pausing to truly take in the food we are preparing, eating or sharing. This culinary oracle deck invites you to slow down and become mindful of the magic of food. Everything we consume has energy and life. It will help you and find guidance and inspiration, as well as a bit of introspection around the uses of a simple ingredients and household tool. As noted previously, there is no right or wrong with these cards. As a practicing kitchen witch over the years, I have developed an understanding of the intimate magic and energetic properties that foods can hold. This comes from deep meditative work and studying the law around ingredients. You may find that while working with cards or a food ingredient, you suddenly feel a certain way of envision something different. Go with it. Trust your gut and interpretations. My suggestions are only meant to advise and spark ideas about working with these foods. There are so many ways to use this deck, but I tend to use this oracle card as a single card pulling or reading. With this deck, you can not only get a message, but you'll be able to incorporate the energy of the card into your day in a practical way by adding the ingredients to a meal. How exciting is it to be able to act on energies or messages that are coming to you with items in your kitchen? Of course, as with all divination tools, meditation and journaling about your readings are always good ideas for deeper reflections. Then it gives you a sample spread. So one card, today's message. This is the most important way to use an oracle deck. Simply sit quietly for a few moments, shuffle the deck while thinking about a situation or question you would like guidance on. Simple questions might be, what do I need to know or focus on today? Or how can I best serve my highest good right now? When you feel ready, spread the cards out in front of you and choose one at a random. You can always simply take the card off the top of the deck after shuffling. Think about the information and how it applies to your question. You can keep the card somewhere. You'll see it all day to remind yourself of the message. Keep the card in your kitchen so it is visible to you when you're preparing meals. Do your best to incorporate this card's ingredients into a meal and make use of the kitchen tool suggested. Three cards. Past, present and future. In the 3-card spread, each card represents a period of time. The first is the past, where you have been. The second is the present. And the third is the future, where you are going. All of this in relationship to the issue you are asking about. Similarly to the single card pull, you will want to shuffle the cards well before pulling the cards while envisioning your question or situation you want guidance with. This is a more in-depth reading, so be clear and more concise with your question. When selecting the cards, be sure to note how each one informs the next, especially if there is a relationship between the messages or even if they conflict. Take note of these ingredients and see if they work together. For example, if your reading shows tomatoes for love, basil for money and bread for friendship, consider making a pizza for dinner to incorporate all these energies into one meal. Remember to do so mindfully with the intention these ingredients bring. And finally, it's got the 5-card spread, which is deeper understanding. The 5-card reading is a spread that can be used for a deeper understanding of the situations at hand. Again, start a meaningful silence while shuffling the deck and focusing on a question or problem at hand. The first card represents where you are and your energy around the situation. The second card will indicate what could be holding back in this moment. The third card represents something you need to learn or that is important to focus on throughout the situation. The fourth card will suggest ways in which you can overcome an obstacle that is in your way. The fifth and last card gives you a glimpse of what the outcome could be if you follow the advice that is given. Just like the 3-card spread, it's important to have a clear question in mind before selecting. Each card informs or affects the other, just as each ingredient can enhance or even overpower a recipe. After this reading, try to find ways to work with or enjoy these ingredients. Can you make a soup with all of them, or try tossing everything into a pasta dish to bring forth these energies and get more clarity? Use this reading as an inspiration to try. Okay, and then it goes into the cards. Let's have a flick through of the cards. Okay, so you've got apples, drawing apples, apple pie, sliced apple with nut butter, apple muffins. When you're in balance with your life, it becomes full of peace and knowledge, and you'll find more to be grateful for. When an apple is cut crosswise through the middle, it reveals a hidden magical message. A 5-pointed star held deep in the heart, like the sacred pentacles. Each point represents an element: earth, air, fire, and water, with the topmost being the human spirit. Apples remind us that simple blessings and elementary harmony are all around. Pulling this card means there is a balance in your life. All things are lining up, and you are truly fortunate. Keep doing what you are doing. Blessings are around you. And it's got here, blessings and harmonious life. These are the backs of the cards. Aren't they beautiful? So you've got like a cauldron, a spoon, onions, salt. I think that's cabbage, orange, all different types of food. For the rest of these, I'm going to read out the name of the food and the keywords. So artichokes is the food, and the keywords are setting boundaries. Asparagus, vitality and masculine god energy. Avocados, inner beauty. I like how it's got the mirror there on the picture. Basil, money and tranquility. Beans, prosperity. Bread, friendship. Cakes and sweet, inner child and sweet tooth. That's probably one of my sins. Cherries, sensuality. Chicken, health and well-being. Chocolate, desire and sex. Cinnamon, prosperous home. Coconut, moon magic and psychic ability. I do love a coconut. Coffee, focus and rising energy. Corn, cycles of life. Dairy, joy and nurturing. Eggs, fertility. Garlic, protection. Grapes, fulfilling dreams. Honey, sweetness and happiness. Hot peppers, passion, heat things up. Junk food, give yourself a break. Lavender, peace and calm. Leafy greens, money magic. Lemons, cleansing. Mixing bowls, bringing things together. Mushrooms, connection to nature and fairy magic. Olives or olive oil, mending fences and broken relationships. Onions, banishing negativity. Oranges, sun energy, the power of light. Avon, alchemy and transformation. Parsley, processing and understanding. Peppermint, soothing. Oh, I do love a peppermint tea. Pomegranates, change, womb and goddess energy. Pork, wealth. Potatoes, grounding. Pots and pans, creativity. Pumpkin, healthy harvest. Rice, abundance. Rosemary, healing. Sage, wisdom and knowledge. Salt, adding flavour to the bland. Oh, that's so good, you know, because sometimes, you know, if you don't put salt in your food, it does taste a bit bland. So I like that kind of interpretation. Seafood, the power of Aphrodite. Strawberries, romance. Summer squish, motivation and tenacity. Table setting, welcoming and connection. Tea, intuition. Oh, and I love how there's a crystal ball there. Tomatoes, giving and receiving love. Wine, celebration and congratulations. And finally, the wooden spoon, focused intentions. What an interesting deck. Okay, so let's have a look at the size, because I didn't do that at the beginning. So if I compare this deck to a regular RWS card, so this is the Barrow weight, you can see that it's definitely an oracle size deck. I don't think I'd pair this deck with another deck because it's there's a lot of information on there. So I think I'd use it as a singular deck. So let me shuffle the cards and see how they shuffle. They shuffle like any oracle deck. Cardstock. It's a matte kind of finish. So what are my first impressions? I really like this deck. I like how instead of a guidebook you have information cards. I always like to know about the author and what they're about and the artist. I like the fact that she's given an introduction, that she's given you a QR code to get the guidebook. She mentions allergies and people who are not meat eaters, like vegans and vegetarians, and people that have got gluten intolerance, how to use this deck. And also, I like the fact that she gives sample 1 card, 3 card, and 5 card spreads. I like how each archetype, there's a keyword, and she also tells you how to use the actual card. I like how also it gives some kind of nods to the tarot. So for example, with the first card that I pulled, I can't remember what it was, it spoke about the elements of fire, air, earth and water, and also pentacles. So to me it was pulling it back to the tarot. This month in my witch casket box, it was about Green Witch. I think this is a good deck to combine with the spells that I'm going to use this month in that witch casket box. Just happy with this deck. How I intend to use this deck is just for self. I won't be using this deck for anybody else. To me, this is a self-reflection deck. And I think I'm going to start off with pulling 1 card pulls just to get myself acquainted with the deck. And then once I'm more familiar with the deck, then I'll be doing 3 to 5 card spreads for readings for myself. But I do like cooking from ingredients, so I do kind of enjoy cards or decks that deal with food. So I am a cook. So let me shuffle these cards and pull a card out for the day. See what one drops out. And I'll put this on my altar, or I might even pull it on my kitchen table. Oh, that card fell out. So the card for the day is olives or olive oil. Use olive oil for cooking. Put olive oil on pizza. Bake in bread. What was once broken can now be mended. When olives show up in a reading, it is time to set aside grudges and forgive those who have hurt you. Begin the hard work of mending a relationship. Things that were said, feelings were hurt, and trust may have been severed. Olives help to receive the tension between those who have had a falling out. Give us a chance to start over. Important to know that olives warn us to only extend this healing to those who are deserving of our love, so that we can build a stronger bond than before. And it's got here olives or olive oil, mending fences and broken relationships. Now, in the information cards, the author did say that, you know, that we could use alternatives. I use olive oil sometimes as body oil, and maybe do an affirmation for today after I've used it on my skin. So that's how I'm going to use this card today. So this is a beautiful, beautiful deck. So thanks for watching, everyone. I will leave a link of this deck in the description bar should anybody be interested in buying it. Bye for now.